Bonjour et bienvenue à la session 4 de Français 102 à Ivy Tech. Cette semaine, nous allons commencer le chapitre 7. Vous allez lire vos instructions pour le rapport culturel international et vous allez écrire un petit rapport de recherche. When you scroll down in the Blackboard module, you'll see the link to the folder to go read the instructions to write your International Cultural Event Report. The report is not due until session 14, but you should read the guidelines and also look at the list of cultural events that you can attend to write your report on. So you can attend one between now and session 14. If you really cannot attend any of the events on the list, please look for events in your area and send me an email so that I can pre-approve them before you attend them. They have to be international events and hopefully with some elements of foreign language. It doesn't have to be French events or events in French. It can be any international events for you to attend. Here's what we're going to cover in Central. I will jump over to Central in a minute, but I wanted to let you know there's some cultural videos that you can watch or should watch here on Blackboard that go with some content in your Central textbook. On va faire la section communication en direct et vocabulaire interactif du chapitre 7. Et vous voyez que vous avez aussi 2 enregistrements ici sur Central cette semaine pour des sorties en ville et êtes-vous cinéphile. Je passe à Central maintenant. Voici le début du chapitre 7, le week-end dernier, au Musée d'art de Baltimore, la copie en bronze de la petite danseuse de 14 ans de Edgar Degas. Every chapter opens up with an artistic picture. Voici la section communication en direct. Vous voyez qu'il y a 2 sous-sections. Depuis combien de temps? Depuis quand? You're going to be asking for how long and since when. And in French, that's a little bit different than in English. So when you want to say, ask someone for how long they've been doing something, use the expression depuis combien de temps. So for example, tu habites à Montréal depuis combien de temps? Depuis combien de temps étudiez-vous l'anglais? So for how long have you been studying English? So if I ask you, depuis combien de temps étudies-tu le français? That means, how long have you been studying French? And you can answer both ways for length of time, so la durée. You can say, j'étudie le français depuis 15 ans, ou j'étudie le français depuis 3 ans, for example. I've been studying French for 15 years, or I've been studying French for 4 years. So, j'habite à Montréal depuis 13 ans is the answer here. I've been living in Montréal for 13 years. J'étudie l'anglais depuis 4 ans. I've been studying English for 4 years. So that's answering with the length of time, not a specific date or a specific year. When you want to know when somebody started doing something, you use the expression depuis quand. So, tu joues au hockey depuis quand? Means, how long or since when have you been playing hockey? Depuis quand joues-tu du piano? How long or since when have you been playing the piano? So if I wanted to know since which year you've been learning French, I would say, depuis quand est-ce que tu étudies le français? And the answer would be, depuis 2014 ou depuis 2010. So since 2010 or since 2014. You give a specific date for the answer. So if the question is, depuis combien de temps? The answer is a length of time. Depuis 2 ans, depuis 3 ans. That means you've been doing this for 2 or 3 years. But if the question is depuis quand? Since when? The answer needs to be since a specific date. So, depuis 2008, depuis 2010, etc. Voilà. La section suivante, on a commencé par, on a terminé par, is going to teach you how to narrate a series of past events. So, with connectors in between the sentences. When you're talking about a sequence of events in the past, you will use words like on a commencé par, so we started out by doing this. Ensuite is next, et puis, and then, et on a terminé par, so we ended by doing this and that. Par exemple, voici, on a commencé la journée par une visite au château de Versailles. Ensuite, on a fait du vélo dans les jardins, puis on a visité la tour Eiffel, et on a terminé par une promenade très agréable en bateau-mouche. Commencer par et terminer par can be followed by a noun, and commencer par can be followed by an infinitive. So, on a commencé la journée par une visite, that's a noun, or on a commencé la journée par visiter, that's an infinitive or verb. Mais on a terminé always is followed by a noun. So, on a terminé par un dîner au restaurant Le Taxi Jaune. Here is the cultural note about les bateaux-mouches. Les bateaux-mouches, literally, the boat flies or flies boat. Mouche is flies. I don't know why they're called like that, except I guess they look like flies with all the facets of glass that are covering the boats for you to be able to ride the boat when it's raining too. So there is a little video on the bateau-mouche and what you actually see during the trip in Blackboard. La section vocabulaire interactif doesn't have any subsections. This is it. Un week-end à Paris. You're going to be talking about entertainment and cultural events. So voici une annonce de possibilités de spectacles, de musique, de restaurants, etc. Don't forget that your book is equipped with audio features, so make sure you click on the little audio icons here to listen to this section. If you cannot see the audio sections or icons mostly, switch your browser to Google Chrome or another browser. Voilà les activités aussi. Divertissement à la maison, une émission, une console de jeux vidéo, un jeu de société, une manette pour la Wii, un lecteur de DVD, un magnétoscope numérique, is a recorder like a DVR, un DVD, et un téléviseur. Un téléviseur, ou on peut dire aussi une télévision. C'est la même chose. Une émission is the show that's going on the télévision. Voilà, c'est tout ce qu'on fait pour le moment. Voilà une note culturelle sur les frères Lumière qui ont inventé le cinéma et aussi le festival de Cannes. You have another video in Blackboard about the movie festival in Cannes, or cinema festival that's very, very famous in southern France. So you can watch a little video in Blackboard. Maintenant, je retourne à Blackboard pour parler de votre rédaction à rendre ce dimanche. So you have a very tiny research paper due at the end of this session. It's only 500 words and it's in English. But you should choose the topic very carefully because you're going to be presenting an oral presentation on the same topic in French in only a couple minutes. So it will only be a few minutes that you will need to speak for the oral presentation that will be due later in the semester. Right now, you're submitting a 500-word research paper in English, and your grade is mostly based on your research. So 60% of your grade is research, 20% relevance to your own personal interests or your field of study, or the importance of the topic you chose to the French culture or Francophone culture. And the style and requirements, following all the requirements, is worth 20%. So you should choose a topic that's interesting to you, that has something to do with your major. If you're doing nursing major, you can write about the healthcare system. Please do not try to summarize the entire French healthcare system in 500 words because you can't. Just pick a specific aspect that's interesting to you. Or sports, if you like sports medicine, sports management, maybe you can write a short 500-word essay on French soccer or a sport that interests you. Also, don't forget there's many other countries that speak French other than France. I'm from Belgium. We speak French in Belgium. Switzerland, many countries in Africa, Morocco, Algeria. If you want to write a paper, a research paper on the open markets in Morocco, or the bazaar, or something like that, feel free to expand outside of France. It's mainly encouraged, really. There's many countries in Africa, like Cameroon, Congo, and Central Africa, even Ivory Coast, la Côte d'Ivoire, in South Africa. If you would like to write about the healthcare system, if you're a nursing major, for example, you don't have to choose French. Really, you can choose any French-speaking country. So that's for your report. Et c'est tout ce que vous devez rendre cette semaine. Voilà, passez une bonne semaine et à bientôt.